Okay, so this is the stripeless redworm bin. This is a Cocoon bin. This was started on, let's see, September 25th. Normally there's a piece of newspaper on top, but as you can see, they've been eating it. All that's left are shreds. What I do at the very beginning is put 1/8 teaspoon of a source of grit. This just happens to be dolomite. This week, I change every week. And a eighth of a teaspoon of crushed mosquito dunks. I put that in every week to keep down the fruit flies, and it really does work. So what I'm looking for here, I normally feed on one side of the bin. So all I have to do is check one side for any type of leftover food. I don't want to overfeed this because I've had a problem with an abundance of mites, red mites at one time. So you can see there are, see if I can get them out. There are some worms growing in the bedding. And what I do is, usually there's a bunch of worms, you know, when they're old enough, when they've hatched from their cocoons, there's enough on some of the food. Like there's one right there. And usually they're all different sizes. This one I need to feed up as this corn cob is kind of well spent. There's some more worms on here. There. So they're all over on this. And what I do is I just, like when the corn cobs get soft enough, I just crush it up. Not just corn cobs, anything else. So it's easier for them to eat or get to. Let me put that there. I mix up the bedding. You might not be able to see because they're so small, but there's worms throughout that they're very small, obviously. Let me go ahead and get their food. See, I normally feed them food that's their favorites, which is usually fruit, and today it's watermelon. But it could be anything that's soft, and I previously freeze it. Normally, I wrap their food in newspaper. Usually I use the newspaper that's been on top, but since they already ate it, which is also a good thing, that I do put newspaper on the top because that's another source of food for them. But let me go ahead and put, since they're not quite big enough yet, and since they still have a little bit of food here with the older corn cob, I'll just wrap this up and stick it on one end of the bin and water it up. Water it well. Go ahead and replace the bedding on top. I place a piece of newspaper on top, wet it well. Like I said, it's a secondary food source for them. And place the plastic, which helps keep the moisture in. And I'm done with this bin and on to the next one. And I do this once a week for all the Cocoon bins.